We're swagged up. Swagged up for Full Combo Podcast episode number 9. We got the boys. The boys are here. Welcome, everyone. It's been a little while. It's been roughly 6 weeks, mostly explained by GeoXen and me being lazy idiots and always forgetting to set this up. But hey,
we tried like 3 times, okay?
Fair,
There were other reasons. It wasn't just us being lazy.
Mostly, though. Mostly us being lazy.
It was mostly us being lazy.
And we have 2 guests today. We have Connor, who's been on the show before, unless that's wrong and I'm stupid. And Katu, who's here. Oh, you haven't? Great. Okay, so I am stupid.
I've not been on. He was on the 5-year anniversary thing for CC.
Oh,
I don't know. I just Mandela affected myself then, and thinking Connor was here before. Never mind then. Welcome, gang. Oh, I got the thingy not right. That's awesome. I need to change this. Let's just go to the introduction. Connor, how do you wanna? What do you do? Who are you? What do you do? While I change this.
Who am I? Well, I am. Well, in my day job, I'm a very professional Tesco employee. I do software engineering at uni, and you probably know me best for running Super tournaments. With the most recent ones being Clash of the Atlantic, and earlier this year with Triple Rumble.
Yeah. And how about you, Katu? What's your mojo?
Well, by day, I may seem like a normal fucking teenager going about their life, trying to get into colleges, but by night, I turn into an incredible media producer who works on mostly promoting Beat Saber tournaments and stuff like that. My most recent projects have been with Connor, working on previously Super Triple Rumble, and now Super Triple Rumble. I mean Super Clash of the Atlantic. Yeah.
The guy with the lore.
The guy with the lore. I do all that.
Even about his own life.
Yeah, I'm actually Denya. I'm not I'm Denya in disguise. I take off the mask and I'm just Denya.
It is Denya, yes.
Yeah.
Denya, if Denya knew what a hairdresser was.
Denya knew what a comb was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, guys, as you can see on screen, today we're gonna talk about the Clash of the Atlantic that just happened, and with just I mean essentially a month ago at this point.
No, it was last weekend. We are super on time, please.
Yes, that's what the YouTube people watching this afterwards are gonna think when this gets uploaded to CC in 8 months.
Was it really a month ago?
Relevant.
Was it really a month ago?
Right. Yeah,
I think so.
Now.
It was October. It was almost a month ago by now.
Oh.
Right. And we're also gonna talk about, Beat Saber Pro cheats in Osu, which
very recent development.
Ecstatic. Exciting to know about this because coming into this, I have no idea what you guys are even talking about. I have not been updated on this matter at all, so I'm excited about this. And then we're going to talk about the leaderboard
knowledge
madness.
About it.
What's going on right now on the top of the leaderboards on Scoresaber with the 2 champions, Bitesy, Busy, and Calvin, battling for number 1. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think we're ready.
Yes.
So how about we just start if we get into Clash of the Atlantic? Probably best for you, Connor, to do this. Give just like a little bit of an outline for people who haven't watched the tournament and have never been watching any Beat Saber tournament. Just what is it? What have you guys been doing with that?
So Clash of the Atlantic was a tournament which featured teams of Europe and North America, basically battling each other in 5 unique distinct matches, 4 of which are very skill set specific, and then 1 which kind of combined all skill sets plus a couple of extra wee things thrown in. The teams were picked and hand selected by selected captains of each region, so for Europe, we had Dracono and Mabe, and then for North America, we had Estrella and Ryan. So they were picking all the teams, and it resulted in an amazing clash, which saw. Do I spoil the result, or?
I mean, it's been like a week, right? It's been like at least a week.
It's been a couple of weeks. They had plenty of time to watch the VOD.
It's been 2 days. You know, you can't.
Summary: Europe got smashed in 4 of the 5 matches. So it was quite a clear North America win, which was kind of sad. I was hoping it would be a bit quicker or a bit closer.
I believe they actually won by a 14-point lead, which was crazy. But yeah, and during that tournament as well, it was a charity event, so we raised, I believe, over 1,000 euros. Was it euros?
It was about £1,040 to the Samaritans, which is a suicide prevention charity.
Yeah, it's a UK-based international reach and stuff. I got all that memorized because of the scripts that I had to do for the promotion. But yeah, it was amazing, and it was very great that we were able to do such a great thing for charity. And it was, I was just disappointed that America still swept, but you know.
I think honestly that was the case for everybody, right? Like everyone was hoping for like way closer matches.
Yeah, I think the way that we did set up kind of gave, I think, looking back at it, North America an advantage, just because I feel like we had a lot of criticism with the map pools in particular. And, you know, kind of looking at it, I think it would have been better if we had, I guess, more visibility before the tournament, rather than just kind of basically forcing the teams to allocate their players before seeing the map pools. I think that's what kind of caused such a significant sweep, which we know for next time we'll probably like change some things around if we do a next one, which I don't know if it will happen, but we'll see what kind of happens over next year.
What do you think specifically? You talk about the map pools, and I agree with you. I've been in contact during the whole tournament with Matteo, Mr. Superquerazed, who's a great friend of mine in the Italian community, and he's been participating in the map pooling for Supas. I think the map pools were great, though I agree that overall balance was pretty skewed towards the Americas. What do you think in particular was the main factor that contributed to that map pools being so skewed towards the Americas?
I think it was just because when we were setting up the tournament, we had the kind of vision where we wanted to have all the skill set matches be like the top echelon of those maps, like the top difficulty. And I think generally Europe is, I feel like, is more of an accuracy kind of focused continent in comparison to North America, which is usually a bit more pushing towards those like upper echelon kind of stuff. And that's what we kind of had a lot of feedback on in the map pools in particular, was that some people were saying, oh, this is like really on the upper end, or it kind of felt in some cases more like challenge, especially in a couple of speed pools, where we did have a 500 BPM burst map in it, which was very controversial. I mean, we did also have, what was it? I cannot mind. It was the World Cup 450 BPM lore map. I cannot mind the exact name of it.
Clock Control? No, Clock Control is not that. It's not that quick.
No, I cannot mind. But it was like a Beat Saber World Cup final map.
Terminal Missa. Thank you, Bitey.
Terminal Missa.
Yeah, Terminal Missa, and like we had it in the pool initially, but it immediately just got, no, please stop, it's horrific. Which is like fair enough.
Right.
But like, I think generally the issue was we were going I think maybe a bit too far on the upper side, but we did get requested to go on that upper side. So I don't know, maybe we went a bit too far and maybe we need to like tone it down next time. Like, I don't know. I think there was just a lot of feelings that we were trying to push players too much.
I remember that one of the most criticized map pools, like you said, was definitely the speed pool. And I remember some players, especially, being quite unhappy with it. I think I remember, but to be fair, the kind of players that I remember are usually the most opinionated on maps, which isn't a bad thing, to be clear. Like players like Aqua, for example, Aquafly, usually a great complainer when it comes to tournaments, though he's a very good mapper, so he knows his stuff. Ryan is another person that is very opinionated on maps, and has extensive experience with map pooling. Though even in the tech pools, for example, maps like Distorted Heavens, for example, definitely really tough maps. But let's talk about matches, each match separately. Starting with, I begin the first, which was the AC match, right?
Yep.
Yeah, accuracy.
Please.
My bad. I dropped something.
He
Sounded like
dropped
an
grenade, I
old
guess.
alarm clock there, just like.
No, it's a little piece of metal I have on my desk that I dropped. I don't even know where it's from. I have no clue where this came from, but yeah.
Yo, you know what I got on my desk? An easel.
The fuck is that?
Oh, I thought you were
It's an
about to
easel.
like pull out some merch to like. Yeah, you know, purchase
Oh,
some-
the
that
exclusive
would've been so
full
good.
combo podcast.
That would be the literal best way to introduce if
my
we
God, yes.
ever made merch. Oh my god.
You know what I got? Our mug. Like, that would be
Yeah,
fantastic.
exactly. You guys just
Someday,
gotta have
someday.
me on this podcast again, just so that I can do that exactly in the same way.
Yeah, introduce some lore for the
Yeah.
FC podcast.
Yeah.
So anyway, introducing the World Cup stickers.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I have them on CubeCommunity.com.
I
Man,
didn't
I'm
grab
so
any
sad
of
I didn't
the.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. I was offered like the stuff as well. That
I
was
can give
so
you
cool,
some.
but
I have a lot of the stickers, Gio. I can give you some when we see
Oh
you
my
next
God.
time.
man.
I
Yeah,
have
the
a lot.
stickers I don't care too much. I just wanted the hoodie, but it costed way too much money. So I skipped it. Please go ahead and talk to us about the AC match.
So yeah, the AG match was probably the most like exciting to watch because it did have a lot of like close to less than 100-point score differences. It was, although it was definitely leaning more on the European side. Now I'm going completely on memory because sadly I don't have my laptop with me. But from what I remembered, I think generally the pool favoured Europe, apart from in one specific skill set. I believe it was either True AC or Tech AC. I cannot mind exactly. But I
think it was
think how
True.
yeah, True. I believe it was True. But due to the nature of it, of the picks and bans, you know, it was basically Europe banned like the Trues, and then North America banned the Tech side. I've got someone at the door. Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It
While Connor answers his door, I pulled up the stats. The accuracy match that went 4-1 in favor of Europe and was the only one we won. At least we got that convincingly. We were ahead at the beginning. Just get clean swept.
Honestly, I need to also like talk about this. I was casting that, and I kind of predicted that outcome as well. And like, I just need to say that the best egg player in the world did not play that matchup. We had Pandita not playing, which
Yeah.
is the best player in North America for accuracy, and well, you know, the probably like second best egg player in North America was also not playing. So they've been missing. I'm talking about Neok, by the way. They were missing some like serious skill, like some serious muscle was missing there. And I went through this list during casting as well. I'm pretty sure because it goes like this: you have like the best egg player in the world, who's Pandita. Then you have, in my opinion, Rack. Then Crusader Pepe. Then Neok, and then like a bunch of other people. And if you look at those 4 people, you're noticing that 2 of those are from North America and didn't play. That is obviously gonna make like a big difference. And I feel like if like at least one of those had been playing, I don't think you would have been able to get Neok. I don't think he's a tourney player at all. But Pandita could have theoretically. I think it would have been actually super close. I don't think it would have been a 4-1. I don't think it would have been one-sided. I think that would have been a super close matchup actually.
And what you gotta remember in tournaments that are teams, team tournaments, is that when you're missing your best player, it's like consider the same match, like the same roster, except you take off the worst one that you have, and you put in the best one that you have. Like it changes the dynamic of your team massively, even in a tournament where you have to switch out. Like in Supas, where you can't wait. No, in Supas you could just run every tournament every time. Yeah, and like Pandita would have been in the place of the worst player of Team US in every single match. Like you don't run an ACK match without Pandita. That would have changed things for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But hey,
it
didn't happen. So
yeah, it happened. Absolutely. Take that, US. What about hit the block better in the middle?
Dude, just let the Europeans have this one victory. Please.
Exactly. Let us have that one thing, please.
This one thing.
US washed up. Absolutely, go practice. That's what you get when you get Ryan as head for accuracy. LLLLL. That being said, we can go ahead.
ACK was first. What came after ACK? Oh, Tech was the second one.
It was Tech. Yes. The Tech match was insane.
Was the closest match of the entire tournament. It was a 4-2 win to North America. I would probably say it was. I think a lot of people expected it to be more leaning on North America because I mean you had Calvin, and who else did they have? Like they had another big hitter.
They had everybody in that one. Hold on, let me put up the thing real quick.
Oh wait, my Switch is on. Maybe I'll access the internet now. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. Connor, do you want to talk about your setup, your tech setup for this real quick?
Yeah. So currently, so for context, I'm doing all the armistice like stuff tomorrow in the UK, Remembrance Sunday. So because of that, I'm currently at home just getting a few things sorted. Now, to be fair on me, I thought the podcast was maybe last Tuesday, I was told. And then I thought it got pushed back to like Monday. And then I didn't realize it got pushed back to today. And I didn't even bring my laptop or anything. So I'm just kind of here without any access to the internet, without touching my phone. Like literally earlier on, I was trying to sort my phone and I was just there like doing that constantly. I mean, I'm now stuck on this awkward menu now. Why did I do that? There.
The cinematic experience.
So yeah, that's how I am.
Dramatic recreation.
So just in case you were wondering why Connor's mic is a little bit compromised.
Yeah, and he's got his Nintendo Switch next to him trying to pull up
I'm trying to find access all the information.
It's gonna pull up Twitter on his Switch.
I don't even have a browser on this.
I don't think the Switch can have a browser, can it?
And the guy was like, "Hey, do you want to participate in an FC podcast?" Yeah, of course, whatever.
And then I pinged him 20 minutes ago, and he just said, "Oh, that's today. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, my bad."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
About that tech match though. So we had on the US side, we had of course Calvin, and then we had Donkey, Busy, and Reddick.
Yeah, quite stacked. Quite a stacked team.
Bullshit ass team. Now on the other side though. Yeah. On the other side we had Floor, Trench. You have Maddie. You had Gustav, Cooling Closet, and Seska. So another insane team. Though, to be fair, the US went in having Calvin with every single map having the world record on it. Like, every single one. And
he missed, he only missed
maps,
once for the entire match.
One note.
And then they replayed, and then he FC'd.
Yeah. And
it's not fair.
Wouldn't it be funny?
All this
unfair.
in the highest tech tournament ever happened, like the highest tech pool that I've ever seen outside a fully challenge tournament. And sometimes having like the best score by multiple percents, he set multiple like world records during the tournament. Like the presence of Calvin made that match one-sided. It wasn't supposed to be. The US even missing 2 players. Which were them? They were Daki, I remember, and Anzu. Both great players, but of all the people in that team that you could have missed, those were probably the least problematic. Like losing Busy, for example, would have been absolutely devastating. But yeah, those 4, just having Calvin on all the time and then rotating between Donkey and Redek and Busy, it was just nonsensical. And another cool fact about that tournament, that match, is that I casted with Colby Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
quite a story.
was a thing.
So how did that happen, Gio? What is the backstory
how
behind
that happened? I have no idea how that happened.
Okay.
I just got that.
Seriously.
Personally, I can't believe it.
Yeah, the Call Me Carson stuff, that was, I didn't even plan on that. So I remember we were having a team meeting and we're kind of talking about casters. And then I think at some point we were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could get like a special guest? And the person who actually tried to organize this was Rusty, actually. So I think it was like at the end of a map tool meeting or something. And I remember Rusty was like, oh, I can message Call Me Carson and see if he's up for it. And I was like, sure. So I gave him a wee thing to send off. He sent it off, and then Call Me Carson was like, absolutely. And then we kind of just set everything up. We kind of got Denya in on the side of things as well. And then, yeah, it just kind of all fell into place. I'm still surprised we even got it running like it did. And I think they did a pretty good job, considering you had no idea what was going on half the time.
It was actually very impressive, and it was quite nice to watch as well. I think you've like helped him very well during that, Gio. And you guys ended up being a pretty good duo for it.
When Adam contacted me, I think he contacted Magician first, but couldn't. And so Magician was like, ask Gio. So I jumped on that 100%. So I got contacted by Adam, like, do you want to cast with Call Me Carson? I'm like, sure. But like 5 minutes after saying yes, sure, being like, oh yeah, that's gonna be cool and fun, immediately the dread descended upon my soul. Not because I was nervous to cast with anybody. Honestly, I don't get nervous or like I don't have social anxiety of any kind, even if the person is somewhat popular. The problem was you need to cast Clash of the Atlantic, which is one of the highest like profile tournament this year, because like a lot of effort went into it. It's a lot of cool players, etc. With somebody who has no fucking clue what they're doing. So you're basically half solo casting, which is already hard enough, and the other half is like being entertaining and not being annoying with the other person that's just there, and like not make it like I had no idea if it was gonna be funny, if it was gonna be cool, or if it was gonna be a mess. And the chance of it being an absolute mess, because you can't meme for an hour and a half. It doesn't work. Like for the first 10 minutes you can, maybe, and then it gets annoying. So what I did instead was just grab Carson and be like, all right, do you want to cast a tournament? Or do you want to meme for an hour and a half? And he was extremely cool about it. He was actually interested in learning about the tournament, learning about Beat Saber. Super friendly and open guy, by the way, not at all giving you the like the feeling of like the VIP that feels above everybody. Like not at all. A super humble guy, super nice to work with. And so we got into a call and stayed for a long time in that call where I essentially imprinted him with a lot of Beat Saber information and then bombarded him with documents, with pre-written text so that he could read during the tournament, depending on what was going to happen at all times. It was a lot of work. But I think it turned out fine because he had ideas, like he knew what he was looking at. He had like a good idea of what was going on, and then had fun commentating instead of just being there, being funny at all times. I think at the end of the day, I essentially managed to only cast the same way I would with any other first-time caster. Except with somebody who's used to be online and in front of the camera at all times. And so with at least that very big experience of not being awkward or silent at all times, being very able to fill the time and have good comedic timing, etc. So at the end of the day, it was super comfortable. I started with a lot of anxiety, but by the time we were 5 minutes in, when Danya went away, I was totally comfortable with it. So it was awesome.
Still, like, it feels so unreal. It's a weird thing.
Oh, by the way, afterwards, like, he was super nice about it too. He invited me to his Discord. He gave me a sub for his channel. We've been interacting since. He has uploaded the VOD of the whole thing to his VOD channel, which while being like smaller than the main channel still helps. I honestly I can see him being like involved more in the future. I think he had fun. It was a lot of fun.
I'm actually pulling up the VOD right now to see how many views it has at the moment.
Not a lot.
It's 2.2k. Yeah, I mean that's still a good amount.
It's a lot for our
standards. And like that's a good amount of like a different audience as well.
Yeah,
not like
that
our
is
audience or anything.
Yeah.
That is super out there. So wait, what match did you guys cast again?
This is tech.
The tech one.
The tech one. It was very fun.
Probably the best match to be honest.
It was my favorite to watch, and it was a very impressive showing as well. Especially, oh my god, like Omer Geesh just stole the show. It was insane.
Yeah, Calvin got that FC on the Story of the Heavens.
Yeah. And he messaged you beforehand. He was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if I did this?"
Yeah, literally 3 days before. He messaged me on like in DMs. I'm like, hey, I think that I found the Megaton Killer of the Super Tourney, because Megaton Killer was the one that had EFC during World Cup that everybody freaked out about. I think it was me and you, Magician, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
We freaked the fuck out, and he slid in my DMs and was like, I found this. I think it would be cool, and like I'm gonna cast that match, so impress me. And he did. Came in and fucking FC'd it.
He does it every time though.
Every time,
like but this was like every single map, right? Like some maps obviously were like kind of more impressive than others, but like every single map, I was like, this is like kind of nuts. This is not.
It's the consistency.
This should be illegal. Yeah,
he's an incredibly
so
consistent player.
I don't get the man. Like, it's incredible, and he's still so young. He's still got a bright like future within the community. Like, I'm just kind of excited to see what will happen with I don't know what next tournaments will be happening, but definitely like on run up to like World Cup, I'm definitely interested to see what kind of position he'll be in by then.
Yeah, you know,
We'll
he's
talk
got
about,
he's got 7th grade to look forward to.
We'll talk about Calvin in a bit more detail, I think, in the last segment.
Yeah, definitely.
Since he is, of course, one of the main participants in that clash at the top. But
Yeah.
let's wrap up Tack with the speed match. At that point, the US had such a great lead and was so on such a favorite for the speed pick that at that point there was nothing left to do essentially. And I think while we were thinking that it could have been more balanced, in the end it was absolutely not. It was a full-on sweep.
A complete sweep, yeah.
It was also not
4-0.
helped. Yeah, it wasn't helped by the fact that I think Europe only had 4 players in that match that actually showed up, and Aqua was, I think he hurt himself before the tournament, and then it was just getting worse. Like really, just that match, just hearing it from like the team, I just kind of knew it's just going to be a match that's just going to be straight out the way. Which was kind of sad to see. I would have been interested to see if Europe could have taken a point, but because of Aqua's injury and just, I think the general morale in that team was really low during it. So it wasn't it.
The real thing is that in that matchup, you had people like Aqua that were essentially the only people able to somewhat compete, to be completely honest, with Bitesy at such high BPM and accuracy. And missing Aqua, the rest of the burden came on top of Small Fox, which for such a long time player and still absolutely floored me, especially with his high BPM capabilities. I did not know that Small Fox could play so fast. I knew that up to 350 BPM he can do anything, but I didn't know after that, and he absolutely smashed. Did way better than Nilik. I don't know how that's possible. But at the end of the day, on the other side, you had people like Bitesy and Thinking and Far Beef, Cryptech, Tornado. But honestly, Bitesy alone can bring you so far in such a hard category, because he is full on 2% above everybody else. Like,
and honestly, like this is even it makes even a bigger difference considering like the amount of players, right? Like, or do I miss it? Was it a 3 versus 3, or am I like tripping?
3v3, I think, right?
Yeah, right? Okay, I was gonna say, am I tripping? Because like if you have a 4 versus 4, one really good player has less impact than with like 3 players. And the lead that Bitesy held during these matches, it was so insane. It was actually ridiculous.
It was to the point where the other two can just chill and keep up, not die, and do okay, miss a few, and Bitesy was just gonna bring that average up so high, and it's not like the other two. Yeah, essentially exactly the same. And on the other side, you had, I expected with a team like Small Fox, Nilik, and Aqua, I expected the speed precision at high speeds of Aqua, and the absolutely indestructible stamina of Nilik to bring up the team to have a more balanced team overall. But missing Aqua, that all fell apart very, very quickly. And finally, there was a challenge, which, honestly speaking, I think nobody even thought that Europe had a chance in the first place. Yeah, you have Zodolord, you have Bug on the other side, but oh my god, in the challenge you have Switronic, you have Gas, you have Monkey,
it was
Albi, Chill, Synth, all the craziest challenge community players are on the US at this point. with some notable and very notable exceptions, but just not enough to bring a team together to really cover everything that challenge can account for. So that was another wash. But I casted that with Call Me Jack, who also was the advisor for challenge on the US side, and Jack was very blunt the whole time. I'm gonna be honest. Like you know how for casting you usually have that the guideline of not being one-sided, not even one-sided, like to give the opposition like try to focus on the good and have a chance for survival.
Yeah, like
Jack
usually
was not having any of that.
Usually
Jack was
you wanna
ruthless.
you wanna be unbiased, and you wanna find like you obviously we talk about like who the favorite is, but you always try to find the winning condition. Like how can the underdog win? That was not talked about. It was just like can't do anything.
Yeah, instead of being like, it's a very uphill battle for Team X, and they have to do this, and that to win, and it's gonna be very difficult. It's like, no, they're absolutely fucking screwed. There's absolutely no way they're gonna win because they suck compared to America. I'm like, all right.
To be fair, on the challenge pool, he wasn't wrong. he
was
wrong.
Absolutely right.
It was really like the difference was crazy. Like on some maps, it was like the I think the difference was like 10% more, right? Like
yeah.
I think one of the I think one of the maps as well, because we did something a bit different with a couple of challenge maps. I think more on the speed side, because we found that because of accuracy being such a minor difference, we actually used miscount instead as our scoring factor. And I mean, I remember I think literally one player in Europe, I don't know who it was, but they had, I think, at least 5 times the misses of the entirety of North America.
Oh yeah,
and it was just
differences of 300 plus miscounts between the two teams. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that Jack did a bad job, of course. A person like Jack you ask to cast, not because he's a professional caster, and not that any of us are professionals in any form, but not an experienced caster, you ask because he has extreme technical knowledge of the category, and he did that absolutely fantastic. What I mean is that it's kind of unconventional to have a caster before the match starts say Europe has no fucking chance they're getting rolled.
Especially when they're on the America side.
It is funny.
It is very funny.
It's hilarious.
Maybe I could have briefed him a little bit better, doing a bit of what I did with Carson with him. But yeah, it was funny anyway. Nobody complained about it. So
I think it's fine, honestly. I don't think that, especially considering how one-sided it was, I don't think there is a, trying to create fake tension also isn't good.
Sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Right? There is it happens in the World Cup every time. You can't go in and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch the US go against seed 16.
Brazil.
Yeah, this is gonna be such a close match, right? This is everyone's gonna be like, these guys are tripping. Because they don't have a chance, right?
Yeah.
It
was a bit different in this case, I think. But yeah. So that happened, and then Balanced happened. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it because I wasn't home. So does anybody have a cap on that?
I know Ryan and me casted that, but I cannot find the scoreline anywhere.
I believe it was a 5-1 to North America that match. Kind of basically, if you combined the tech and speed rosters, plus they took a couple of their best challenge players and act players. Basically, if you took North America's top 2 players from every roster and combined them into one balanced team, that's what they had, which was just stacked. It was domination, really. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. I cannot mind what map it was, but there was one map where it was like, I think the first couple were really close, but then as it progressed, it just started to grow distant. And because we had a bit more, let's just say, interesting maps in that pool,
there was some straight up challenge in that pool.
Yeah,
like, not even two ways about it. Like there was like fucking 100% fully like imported challenge maps.
I mean, the point of the balanced one was to take, I think we said 2 maps from like each like specific category, and then just kind of fill up the rest with other stuff. So we had like 2 ACK maps, 2 speed maps, 2 tech maps, 2 challenge maps, and then the rest was just kind of anything that couldn't really be specifically fit into one of those categories, like it was too much for the mix. And then obviously we had our kind of 2 mystery maps, one of which I apologize to the players about because it's my map and I'm terrible at mapping, and it was horrific for them to play. And then the other one was the match tiebreaker, which was Denu's map, which actually Europe won.
Who's
end.
Also terrible at mapping, so you should have apologized.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah.
Better than mine, at least.
Well, I'll tell you what, the whole tournament overall was very well produced, extremely well organized, didn't have any particular hitch or slowdowns of any kind. Overall, one of my favorite tournament experiences, up there for sure. I think the only thing that I left as a feedback, I think you guys received in the feedback form, was that I couldn't have audio while casting, which is something that is not necessary, but I kind of missed. And I especially missed it for Carson, I'm gonna be honest, because for somebody who's not used to casting, having at least the audio of the song might have helped.
That's true.
But other than that, everything else was awesome. Like, no complaints.
Yeah, I think that was just an issue with Schrodinger's side. I think we were trying to fix that, but we just couldn't find the solution in time. And I mean, as well as that, like, the whole team did so well. Like, we had a lot of, like, small dynamic changes to the overlay as the matches progressed, thanks to Rin, who just made it basically so that between every map, we could literally make small tweaks to what people were saying in chat. So if someone complained about something, Rin was immediately onto it, changed it, and then everyone was like, "Oh, this is better."
Yeah, there were like active changes in between matches, and it was it was very impressive.
Yeah,
on the overlay side,
really great from Rin, and to be honest, just the way everything was set up was just really good. And I mean, I really cannot praise like the whole staff team, especially Schrodinger, TK. Basically all the head staff involved with any of it. Like, it was a big operation, and I kind of felt bad because I feel like I should have done more. But I was just kind of hitting university, and I was just getting bombarded with stuff from that. So I was just trying to keep up with everything and help out as much as I could. But honestly, we raised money for charity. That was the main goal. Yeah. We did that very successfully. We made some memorable moments, and now we're going to probably be on hiatus for a year because everyone in the team completely burnt out. So
tell you what,
if you're expecting Triple Rumble in February next year, don't get your hopes up.
Nope.
It will be a while.
Happening.
Tell you what, man, there aren't a lot of people that raise £1,000 for charity in their lifetime. It's an achievement, like a personal achievement. You guys should think of that about.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like that I think that should be stretched enough. There are charity streams, charity tournaments in Beat Saber. It's not the first, but there aren't many, and there aren't many at such a high level, and that raise so much money. So hey, awesome job in that sense. Again, £1,000. £1,000 is a lot of money to give to charity. and for something that you could have very well easily pocketed if you just decided to not give it to charity. So sick. That said, I think we should get a move on, mostly because I know that Ixon has something to gas afterwards as well. So guys, please tell me about a Beat Saber Pro cheats in Osu, because I have no fucking clue. What are you talking about?
I know vaguely about what happened.
I think that's the blessing of Geo not having a Twitter account. I'll just call it a blessing. So what happened? It is a tweet from 19 hours ago from a person called Kingling Osu. On Twitter, they have 3K followers. I don't know them. Apparently, they played on the UK World Cup team in Osu.
I think I've seen them on the server, also UK server, I'm sure.
And basically, 19 hours ago, they tweeted, "Why is a top 10 Beat Saber play cheating in Osu? Bro, haha, at Aquaflea." Followed by a screenshot of Aquaflea's Osu profile picture, Osu profile, which went from global rank 5k to under 1k in 3 months, followed by a screenshot of that account being disabled.
He's just a new prodigy. Like, I don't understand what the whole discourse is. Like, he's just the udon of Osu.
And that tweet, I don't know the scale of Osu Twitter, but that tweet went pretty far. It's on almost 60,000 views and 1,000 likes. It's
for Beat Saber numbers on Twitter, that's quite a lot.
That would be the record for anything ever done. Probably.
Yeah, but it went pretty far.
But okay, so I knew about Aqua quitting Beat Saber. Like he says, of course, anybody saying on Twitter that they quit Beat Saber makes no fucking sense. If you're saying it, it means that you're coming back. Whatever. But let's say that he quit Beat Saber, and I noticed people saying, he's just playing Osu now. Was he cheating? Like, what was he suspended because people found out that he's cheating, or he's just a gamer?
He was suspended on Osu. There's nothing in the replies that, like, I don't know how you prove someone is cheating in Osu. Honestly, I don't play that game.
Bitesy said in chat that he was actually cheating.
Yeah. Bitesy, please expand. Tell us about this.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I mean, there's been a lot of like Osu kind of cheating, and like I don't know. I think there's just been a lot recently.
To it. He admitted to using AR charger.
I saw about that somewhere,
AR
but he admitted to somebody.
With most likely using relax and aim assist.
So there's a way. I don't know what that is. It's just a way to apparently.
It's basically Connor, do you want to explain it, or I can explain it?
I can explain it. So I mean, I'm not the best at Osu. I barely play it, but I do enjoy it. So I guess what the kind of cheat is AR changer. So AR is just an acronym for approach rate. So it basically tells you how long you have to react to like a note, essentially.
So jump speed.
So think of it as like jump distance in Beat Saber.
Right.
So basically the ARs on a lot of like the higher level star maps is like basically really close to jump JD in Beat Saber. So essentially what is happening is, unlike in like Beat Saber where you can like move things a little bit, in Osu you cannot. It's set to like a specific value. You cannot change that unless you apply modifiers. So essentially what I'm guessing the application was doing was allowing him to modify how far the AR is on the map, basically giving him an advantage where he's not reacting as much, but rather just much easier to flow through it. So he's just basically got more time to process everything, which is an unfair advantage. And the stuff with the modifiers, I'm only guessing is he's able to somehow activate them without it basically being uploaded as using them. So essentially easy is essentially the approach rate becomes longer, the circle size becomes bigger, and like the timing window becomes more lenient. So that's kind of the main thing, and then
That's like changing NJS in Beat Saber.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Right.
And the auto aimer is
That's
kind
cheating
of,
even in Beat Saber.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
And then if the auto aimer is true, that basically means that like Osu aims for you, or he's using an application that aims for him, and he might only be like tapping essentially. I don't know precisely. I'm just guessing that's what they're kind of accusing him of, but I don't know. But that's my rough like insight to it.
Must have some ground behind it if the account got disabled, I guess.
I mean,
think-
they'll usually play analysis
exposing himself.
Wow.
Bitesy exposing himself, saying that he got 752 with cheats. Oh my God, Bitesy! Actually, please somebody screenshot it, send it to Kingling. Oh my God, Bitesy, absolutely.
Also
Okay.
support.
Sending it to Peppy right now.
Yeah.
Directly tweeting it to Peppy.
I don't know what the pipeline is for getting someone banned on Osu, but it's probably not the easiest. Like, it's not just you report someone and they get auto banned.
Like-
I doubt that's the case.
Osu is kind of both a mix of user reports, but also every time you submit a map, it runs an algorithm to kind of detect if you're cheating. So some people will get auto banned because it immediately detects, oh, that's not human-like movement. So for example, if you're straight lining like perfection every note, when a human hand can physically not do that unless you're the Terminator, you know,
That's what a
it's
human
going
hand
to
do.
pick that up and basically go, that's cheating, you're banned.
I mean, I'm not sure you saw Aqua's swings though, like pretty straight. Anyway, gonna come out and say that, like, bozo move, don't cheat in competitive video games. Just don't do it. Like, especially in Osu. I don't know why I feel like it's more scammy to cheat in Osu than Beat Saber. Maybe it's because it has like more. I don't know.
More clout.
I feel like,
guess.
yeah, it's. I don't know. It's like when you hear somebody cheating at chess. Like, if you cheat at chess, you're a scumbag. Get out of my house. If
There
you're
are
cheating,
certainly many types of ways of cheating at chess.
yes, we shall discuss this after this stream. But like, if
I'm
you're
not sure
cheating
for
at
sure.
chess or you're cheating at Fortnite, I feel like you're more of a scumbag if you're cheating at chess. I don't know why, but anyway, don't cheat. That's
Guys,
Be
the only
better.
person you're cheating is yourself.
Down.
Exactly.
Put that on a poster.
Inspirational quote.
What's
But-
interesting as
yeah.
well, what's interesting,
But-
something that I've heard quite often is like better players make the better cheaters. So there was like the whole scandal
Carl
a couple of
Jobst.
years ago with like Dream doing his speedruns and stuff, like the Minecraft YouTuber. And he was like genuinely good at speedrunning, but in his streams and stuff, he cheated his numbers so that he got like more lucky in the game. And so it's
Everybody
kind
knows
of a
it.
point of like just like people who are better at the game and stuff are more likely to cheat because they feel more as if they deserve it. I'm not saying like that's what happened with Aquafleet, but I mean like stuff with Dream, people could suspect like, oh, he felt like he deserved to have these times, or like other cheaters, they felt like they were so good at the game that it would just be like so boring to like grind for a specific level, so they deserve to get it in the first place. That's kind of what happened with the 2 challenge players that got exposed like a couple of months ago as well.
I was
Yeah,
about
that
to
happened.
talk about them.
Yeah.
For Carl Jobst, who's an awesome YouTuber talking about cheaters in speedruns. Very informative, very great. He has this quote that I like a lot, which is, the best cheaters, so the more successful cheaters, don't cheat to get a better score. They cheat to get a better score faster.
Exactly.
That's the point. If you are a shit player, you're never gonna fool anybody, and you're never gonna be successful even as a cheater.
The shit
If you're
cheaters,
great, if you're a great player,
Like-
you're also better at cheating. Now, what's terrible about this is that it means that, say, a player like Radiate, for example, who got exposed for cheating with Cheat Engine, essentially fabricating swing bug for him, allowing the game to run at a lower FPS so that he could swing wider with less swing. Essentially, him and Dodgy were exposed doing this fairly recently. I was actually involved with the investigation of them.
Oh wow!
Inside info.
Working with the team at Beat Leader to introduce methods to check for it before the thing was announced, so that people couldn't replicate it without a method to find it out, which was interesting. But what other than Dodgy, who is honestly a garbage person, Radiate was actually gutted about it. And talking about this, it's insanely clear how cheating, especially if you're good enough to do it without being noticed, destroys you as a player and rips you of all the satisfaction you will ever have with the play again. So at the end of the day, you're not only destroying your face and in the face of the community, even if you never get caught, you're just win the game for yourself in a way that it's just not worth it. Even if you'll never get caught, it's never worth it. You're never gonna be happy with your performance ever again because it's fabricated and it means nothing. Don't cheat. It's not good for you, not even for the community. It's not good for yourself. Just don't do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, shit players who cheat, like, you often see them just downloading, like in Osu, you see them downloading, like a bot or something that just can get, like, 7k PP on, like, a crazy jump map with, like, double time or something. You don't see them, like, using subtle tactics like, AR changer and stuff like that. You see them, like, going very, like, just immediately going for as high as they can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like I said this before. I think it was like in different contexts, but it's really difficult also to like catch someone who's good and like subtly cheating. Like just
Exactly.
we had someone in I think UC who just raised all of their points on accuracy by 1 on every cut, and it was basically unnoticeable if you just looked at their gameplay. Now, if you take a top player and let's say they add half a point to their average cut per like cut through a mod, you would never notice. That's like 0.4 or 0.5% higher accuracy. Imagine that on a map where you get like 98s and close to a 99. Suddenly you are ridiculously good, but to get there, even like if you want to like approach someone like let's say Pandita on a map like that, right? You would need to at least get something like a 99 in the first place. So it's gonna be like you need to be good, and like even for someone who's good at analyzing swings, it would need so much analysis to actually see that.
Yeah.
So, you know, for good like for good players, it also is easier for them to like hide it because they kind of know what to hide.
So
And
what? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm basically finished. I'm just saying, like, you know, that is like the biggest danger. If you are a not great player, and this happened, I can probably go like into this because it's like actually related to this. If you're not a super good player, it is actually noticeable, and we had this in the egg community actually before. I don't know if anyone heard of oh my god, what was the name again? AdStep, right? AdStep. Has anyone heard of the AdStep incident?
No.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So you heard of it? I might have talked about this before. So basically, AdStep was a okay egg player who suddenly started sniping pull state on true egg. Within like it was like super fast improvement. And what he did was he took his own replays and manipulated them into getting better accuracy. And replayed them basically. So he took a replay, let his replay play again, and he manually adjusted the plays before replaying it. And what that actually caused is that he like it was, if you really looked at it, you could see it that like the swings went, and if the block was slightly left, you could see the swing go slightly to the left just before it hit the block. It was noticeable because he was not a super good player. And if he was like actually close to Pulse, no one would have noticed ever. And like situations like these, I think, are probably. I don't know if they're gonna be more likely, but they are not super unlikely.
And what
wild.
we should do, is get in on our knees and thank and kiss the feet of the people at Beat Leader for introducing a myriad of system to prevent this kind of things from succeeding. It's honestly insane. I speak with Kargov every once in a while when we have people like, for some reason people keep submitting cheated plays on CC. It's insane. It's like the best source of cheated plays
I actually didn't hear about that.
like they submit on CC and people like check the plays and like, okay, and see if they get submitted on Beat Leader, and if they are, we can. I then just contact Kargov, who's a backend dev on Beat Leader, and they deal with all the checks that could be introduced in the replay system. Having a system that automatically has a replay of every play that you submit is such a godsend for the community. I know that Scoresaber technically has it, but the fact that Beat Leader has it for every single play is the value of that as a community is cannot be understated.
I just need to say,
cannot be overstated. Sorry. Okay.
Do you guys think?
All right. So yeah, Aqua is a cheater. Cool. Did not expect to get that news today.
Do you guys think that more people have been doing that in Beat Saber?
Eating?
Yeah. Like,
I
if
think
there's
it is
a
natural.
way, if there's a quite like relatively simple way where you can just add a point to every single one of your X scores. Do you think people do that?
I think it's definitely possible, yeah.
I don't think it's that easy nowadays.
I don't know how easy
That's
it
the
is.
idea.
But if like, it doesn't seem to be impossible. It's not impossible, of course not. But
Yeah.
There must be cheaters that we don't know about. But the real deal is that the highly competitive community, to a point where the idea is that Beat Saber as a community is not that big and doesn't have that much of a lust to it, that shine to it, where cheating would give you any bragging rights even, unless you're on the very top, and then it gives you absolutely bragging rights, right? In each community there's the top. You have the challenge community, where Radiate was absolutely at the top, still is to this day because he's a great player. You have the ranked, you have the arc, etc. Now the people at the top, are they cheating? I think there's enough eyes on them to be fairly certain that if there are cheaters, there are very few of them. Of course, Bitesy is cheating. We know that, but
Of course, yes.
other than Bitesy, like, would you cheat to be top 1K in Beat Saber? No. Just play the game, get good enough, and get top 1K. At the end of the day, you're not getting any clout for being top 1K in Beat Saber, right?
I mean, it's a good icebreaker.
I guess,
True.
but then what after that? Like, if you cheat to get to top 1K, you're never gonna get to top 100.
That's true.
what if you're a player in low top 100 who wants to play in tournaments for money? That's an incentive.
At that point, I think, especially if you want to then play on tournaments and cheating in tournaments, I think it's impossible. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't think we have the technology to alter your live gameplay in Beat Saber. And if we do, it doesn't submit.
Isn't that what Radiant
said?
Yeah, isn't that what Radiant and Doji were doing?
Yes. Let me rephrase that. I don't think we have a way to alter accuracy in that way in a tournament environment where you then upload and it actually uploads to the leaderboard.
Well, then again, like, if someone's gonna, like, cheat for prize pools, do they think the Beat Saber prize pools in the first place? Because, like, that's not exactly where the money is at, you know.
Oh well,
That's
even
true.
even just winning a tournament, even just winning that
Yeah.
gives you some kind of clout that you want to get behind. And not to mention, of course, if you're cheating in a tournament and you win money for it, that's fraud, people. That's illegal in
that is
essentially every single like country in the world, and you could get sued for it and probably lose like fairly quickly. There are multiple precedents in esports for this, so feel that's dangerous. I don't think, unless you're a complete idiot, I don't think you're gonna do it in a tournament where you could win money. I don't know.
This is not
I don't
legal
see it
advice,
as
by
a-
the way, but yeah, don't cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
We're
take
not
it
lawyers.
as you will. I'm absolutely not a lawyer, but I don't know. I don't see it as an imminent and big problem in our community right now. As I don't see it in communities like, for example, Trackmania, that uses a system that is very similar to Beat Saber, with replays that is exactly the same. It's replay files, and they have developed a way to check for things to look for in Trackmania replays that look suspicious. A few years ago, they found a bunch of cheaters, even high-level cheaters. They banned them, and since then they use this competitive patch that they have to use so that their replays are automatically checked. We do the same with Beat Leader right now. And to a certain degree with Scoresaber as well, which has their own cheat. Oh my god.
That was so good.
I'm sorry.
That was
It was
actually
really good.
masterfully done.
Yeah.
I'm drinking some water. Hold on.
I wanna see like the reverse as well.
Yeah,
one
gotta
second.
come back up
Break
as
his
well.
knees.
I gotta come back upstairs.
Yeah, please.
Is there...
It's incredible.
I'll see you guys later.
And it was fantastic. How did
Sorry,
he
I
do
was
that?
venting.
How high is that desk?
I was just venting.
Oh my god, dude.
Among
Banned.
Us.
I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna...
Anyways.
To close this this section of the talk, I don't
I
think
saw the
we're
overlay
gonna
appear
have-
over me.
I don't think we're gonna have a huge cheating scandal like half the top 50 is cheating anytime soon. I hope not. But you
I
never know.
don't think so.
Should we go to the last
Yep.
point while I
Sure.
take my charger real quick? Be right back.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna go to the bathroom.
All right. Yep.
Be right back.
See you in a
Yeah,
second.
good luck.
You gotta go back down the stairs. Oh, God damn it.
Aww.
There's a door! There's a second door! Jesus
There's
Christ.
the door.
So many doors.
Yeah, for real.
That's
So,
only wardrobe behind them. But well.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes more sense. Next to the side. Well, the last point we
Yeah.
have on the agenda today, I called it Leaderboard Madness. Very close to what we just talked about with people who are very good at that one game that we play sometimes. If you haven't seen it, Silent lost rank 1. He's kept it for 3 months, and then 2 weeks ago, he got passed by Bitesy, Busy, and then
Busy.
Calvin in like
Yeah,
a day.
just all
I
three
think
of
it
them.
was
Yeah.
Busy, then Bitesy, then Busy again, then Calvin. The idea is, even though we don't have exactly the same, exactly the timeline of this, right now there's a war in the top of the leaderboard, and it's between 3 titans. Those titans being Busy, Calvin, and Bitesy. And this, I think these 3 are such interesting players to see at the very top, and I'll tell you why. You have Busy, who is the most balanced all over, perfect concept of a Beat Saber player that I think we've ever. Jesus Christ. You are making me lose my
Yo.
discourse, Mr. Katu.
I'm distracting you. How so?
Yes. I
so?
don't know, honestly.
I don't see anything wrong with this. This is just my comfort object.
Anyway. So you have
My
Busy,
comfort scythe.
who's the most well-rounded player, that perfect image of a Beat Saber player. He's
I'm
good
sorry.
at everything. He's amazing at most things, and he has played all the maps on the top, and he's great. He's somebody who's, if he was on the top of the leaderboard, you could safely say Busy is the best player in the world. Full stop. And nobody would bat an eye. And I think he has a very good case for it even right now, even when he's not at the top of the leaderboard. Then you have Bitesy, who, on top of being an absolute speed demon, coming from a challenge background into the more ranked, high accuracy, high speed stuff, he has been rivaling, if not topping, Silent Bang in linear speed, but has, most importantly, recently become an absolute ACK god, shining bright like a diamond in the ACK tournament, and learning to play essentially every kind of map with his extremely good and consistent swings that allow him to have extremely high accuracy in everything. And finally, you have the rising star, little kid with a dream, and the most broken ass tech skill that we have ever seen in this game. I think rivaling Taichi in his dominance in one specific category, and it's Calvin being honestly unreachable in some of the shit that he does, but still a bit weaker in some other. And despite that, currently being on top of the leaderboard. What I want to ask you guys is, where do you see this going? Where do you see this battle settling at? And Bitesy, since you're in chat, I want to ask you too.
Well, I mean, currently with the trend of mapping, especially on Scoresaber right now, it seems that tech is very much being favored. So I could see Omer having a pretty good lead at number 1 in the future, but I could be wrong. I am just a measly 3-digit, so you know.
Feels bad.
The meta is very techy.
Yeah, man. I also, speaking of Bitesy, I got called a twink by him in chat.
What's your response?
Either that or Denya.
I feel like defeated and disgraced and utterly speechless, to be entirely honest.
And you've been called a twink by somebody who has a kid voice. Like Bitesy is a young person.
Whoa, hold on.
I want you to know that
fucking phone.
Bitesy is a kid.
The shots from below.
That's another thing that I wanted to comment on. We've got a 13-year-old facing off against 2 14-year-olds in the top 3 right now. It's like literally like 7th grade versus 6th grade at the moment. It's crazy.
It's always supposed to be like that. Bitesy, the question that I asked is that how do you see the battle at the top settling? Who's gonna win this battle for the top? Who's gonna settle in as number 1 for a long time after you guys battle it out for a bit? You say yourself.
That's
Why?
the most.
Expand.
That's why would you not? Why would you not expect her to say that?
Literally.
I did not expect it either, and I want to hear Magician. What do you think?
I think it's quite difficult at the moment. Of course, Calvin's on top, and Calvin also by far with the lowest play count. He has a couple less ranked maps played than Bitesy, and 4 times less ranked maps played than Busy compared to Busy. Mostly because Busy's a grinder, which is incredible. Just plays everything.
It's insane.
I'm scared of what's gonna happen when Calvin starts playing more ranked maps. He's been mostly in that high-tech speed niche. And he's got the lead there now, like he's uncontested in tech. So at some point, he's probably gonna get bored of just playing tech. And I'm very scared of the day where Calvin thinks, I should try speed. I should try ag. I should try all
I'll
these
tell
other
you what.
other categories
I mean,
where people are better than me
He's
currently.
tried, but I don't think he has really practiced it for super long. I'm not 100% on this, but I do
Well, tell
think
you what.
that Kevin had put in some work, like especially for World Cup. I know that Calvin like tried to improve his ag and stuff. Like that already happened. And I agree with Bitesy as well. Like the I'm sorry, Gio, I keep talking. I'll be done in a second. I agree with Bitesy. Like the speed cap, that is like the biggest issue. If Calvin can actually kind of unlock super high BPMs as well, I don't see how he's not gonna like dominate absolutely in everything. Like I think that is the question. Can Calvin unlock like, I don't know, 400, 500 BPM and just play it like he does with tech? Because in that case, I'm not really seeing any contest here.
The thing is, for example, 22 hours ago, Cube Community published a video of Calvin playing Vicious Heroism with a 9737 number one and 641 PP. That's a Silent Bang snipe. Now,
Holy cow.
that's on the techiest side of speed for sure, but that's speed. That's higher BPM that he usually plays. And while it's true that CV1 tracking is not necessarily the best for that, and the way he swings may not be super suitable for that, like Seret made CV1 tracking work very well for speed. Yeah, of course, not at the level that people play it right now, but still very, very workable. Still top player level. And while it's true that he struggles to swing above 420, 420 is not a BPM that's useful for ranked at all.
420 is above the cap, yeah.
And that's where I want to get with this whole thing. Bitesy, if the honestly count like the limit of 350 BPM needs to go. I am now of this strong opinion that I've held for a long time. I think it was controversial for a while. I don't think it's controversial anymore. Anybody who thinks otherwise is an idiot. Top level Beat Saber is now played above 350 BPM, and that limit fucking makes no sense. It has to go away.
See, the thing is, I completely agree with you.
If you think otherwise, shut up!
I
You're not
completely
allowed
agree
to
with
have
you,
that
yeah.
opinion.
But but at the moment,
Yes.
with the way that Scoresaber is going right now, it doesn't seem like there is going to be much in the future.
Let me finish. Let me finish the thought.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm not saying that's gonna go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
The thing is, if that limit went away, like it should, I think Bitesy has no contest against him right now, as he is right now. Against Busy and especially against Calvin, Bitesy scales up on those higher BPMs way better than both. To a point where higher BPM stuff, like I'm thinking Sullivan, for example, these maps that go 400 and above, he would score so much higher than anybody else that if those maps were counted as high star rating like they should have, like that, he's 96 on Superluminal is a score that is completely untouched by the rest of the community in a way that it is just there's nobody like him at the moment. Nobody. Even if Silent Bang came back with all his prowess, he's not as fast as Bitesy, not even close. So if that limit went away, Bitesy would have free reign on this community until somebody else comes in and fights him. But in this day and age where 350 BPM is the cap, Calvin can learn how to hack it, and at that point, I think he's gonna go away with it. And I believe at this day and age, Calvin is probably the one that at the end of this whole fight is gonna settle at number one. Now it leaves Busy out of the picture, and as much as I love Busy as a player, and as much as I admire the grind, I think because he grinded so much with such work ethic to be at this point, and he is where he is right now, I think there's not much room left for Bitesy. He has played all the maps. He has played a ton. And, skill progression is a curve that tends to a limit. I'm not saying Busy has peaked, but I believe that Calvin and Bitesy both have more margin above their current limit where they could expand in the future.
I think that's very fair. And the thing is, with your theory about Bitesy dominating without a speed cap, what's the current speed cap for Beat Leader? Is there one?
There isn't one.
There isn't one, exactly. And Bitesy is comfortably number one in Beat Leader right now. And not only that, but they also have like the faster song and super fast song modifiers as well, which I believe Bitesy has taken massive advantage of. He is currently like over 1,000 PP ahead of Silent Bang, who's number 2. So your theory right there is completely proven. Bitesy would be absolutely dominant right now if the maps permitted for it.
I think this is where
Bitesy. Sorry, one last thing. Bitesy says, by the same logic, I guess it's not like I can't learn how to act tech. Absolutely, you could 100% learn how to act tech. My struggle to with that is that Calvin kind of almost has it naturally, like so above everybody else in that sense, while being in the active not community in general, but like on the top for such a little time. Like he has 806 play count. Like I think I have more than that.
Yeah, the question isn't quite, but... The question isn't could you learn how to act tech. The question is could you do it better than Omer? Like at the end of the day.
Could you do it moreover, could you do it faster than Omer learns to act speed? I think acting speed is an easier thing to learn compared to acting the crazy bullshit that Omer is acting right now. With the BPM cap, and considering also the extremely high combo count that Calvin is keeping, which is also on a whole other level on tech. I don't think Calvin is. I don't think Bitesy, you are so uncontested on speed as much as Calvin is on tech at the moment. I think the margin is wider. And up to 350 BPM. After 350 BPM, nobody's touching you, Bitesy, right now. Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one close is weirdly is a German player, top German player. Nylik. Yeah. Nylik is bullshit insane at very, very high speed stuff. If you look on Beat Leader, you'll get what I mean. Because he can keep stamina after a long period of very, very high stuff. Which is, even if you can pause, Nylik is really good at that.
It helps.
Nylik and Bitesy, I think, are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
There are maps where you need the stamina.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, all of this kind of harkens me to the current situation with Osu. If you guys didn't know, Emrek, who is number 1 right now, he used to have a 2k PP lead in front of the previous number 2 player, Lifeline. And so there were like video essays made about him and stuff, and everyone was just like, we do not see anybody contesting this guy for a very long time. Then in comes this player called Akolibed, I think I horribly pronounced that, but they are currently starting to bridge the gap more than Lifeline did. Emrek is at 25,000, Lifeline was at 23,000, Akolibed is at 24,000 at the moment. So the thing is, like, in the future, who knows what's going to happen, you know? Like somebody put in chat, they're going to become like 15 and 16, and then the new Zoomers are going to come in and like start destroying them. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Who knows what's going to happen with the Quest 3 as well? Like, Quest 3, like, those light controllers opening up so much opportunity for speed. Like, who knows, like, what the next generation is going to look like?
Yeah, the Quest 3 controllers, I've tried them myself. They're quite incredible. It is a bit weird for me, going from, like, the original Rift, like, S/Quest style controller with the rings to ones without, because I found myself using the rings as kind of a stability point. So I've actually kind of got that awkward thing where the controllers actually slip more easily, just because of my grip. So I've had to like try to adjust to it, and I'm still getting used to it, even though I've not played the game much. But I mean, this is like going back on all that kind of stuff. I guess this is why I've been kind of pushing like super tournaments into being more beat leader oriented as well for like leaderboard submissions. Like we were obviously making all these player cards, and we pulled all that data from Beat Leader, because we just think it's just after everything over the past year, I think it's just becoming. I hate to say the term like the new Scoresaber, but I feel like it's just a better, well-rounded platform for scores and leaderboards at the moment. And we just feel like you can just get so much more data, so much more interest that you can pull from it for utilizing in tournaments. Like a lot of our staff sheets utilize pulling data from Beat Leader to make it easier to access. Developed by Adam and Mr. Super. I just think that with all these like top players, I think we are going to start to see possibly, maybe in the next year, potentially a shift from. I mean, this is quite a big shift, but shifting maybe from using Scoresaber as like the main submission tool to Beat Leader instead, possibly. And I mean, we're going to be utilizing that for like our future tournaments, especially for like restrictions on like ranking and all that. We're probably going to start switching to Beat Leader because we think it's just a better representation. And then of course
with the anti-cheats as well.
I don't wanna shift this a specific argument about the 350 BPM cap as a necessary like a Beat Leader is better than Scoresaber, because I don't believe that. Not necessarily. What I do believe is that regardless of what leaderboard you prefer, that cap has to go, because it does not make any sense anymore in this community right now. It's just anti-historic. I don't know how to with the right word in English, but it's dated. It's a dated cap. It makes no more sense.
It's just a leftover. It's just a leftover of all times. I mean, like if you look at it, it's Bitey said that as well. Like having a star cap is also kind of similarly stupid. Like having a maximum difficulty, in my opinion, just doesn't make any sense. Like if you can go harder with like tech and speed, why not go there? Unless you can set limits, of course. If you can be like, we don't want to have like plain challenge stuff in there. I think that's fair. Just
keep it.
But I think just saying like I feel like over like 12 stars is like not great, or the way it was where OV was just like the limit. It was like if the map is harder than OV, you can't rank it. I think that just is kind of silly.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I feel like this is my personal opinion. I feel like we gotta get more unhinged. Because like the thing is with the Osu community, I keep making a lot of comparisons to Osu today, but I mean like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there are plenty of maps in Osu that are unFCable by that are ranked, that are unFCable by top players at the moment. I feel like having that in the current scene would be pretty exciting and would like open up new opportunities for other players as well. I mean, that's just my opinion, but yeah. There are ranked maps in Osu that are unpassed.
You know that your opinion is correct when fucking Seska comes out, one of the most experienced players in the world, saying, I think, map challenge would be healthy for the top end. Yes! Yes!
Hey, thank you, Seska. Thank you.
Yeah. Like,
correct opinion!
Like, I think there's even an Osu star-rated map that's a 12-star 13 that is not even passable.
Holy
it hasn't
fuck.
been passed by a player, but it's ranked. Like, we need that in Beat Saber, because I think that will just... God. Because then it gives people a reason to grind for these stupidly impossible maps. Like, fucking hell.
Also push... Like, it'll push more players to actually improve. If you're a ranked player, currently there's no reason for you to really play 500 BPM if you just want to play like Scoresaber ranked. Like, what is going to be the point, right? If you have that open, then people will practice those maps. You might have challenge players who are really good at that speed, they might actually be like, you know what? I'm gonna now, instead of going faster, I'm gonna actually learn how to act this speed as well. And suddenly you have like 2 bitesies out there that we don't even like know could be there. You know, I feel like it just opens a lot of doors for a lot of players, and it's just
true.
missing.
That's very true.
That's actually a good point, that it just slows people getting better, because there's only been one time in Beat Saber where there were maps that were unFCable or unpassable ranked, and that was in 2018. The period where players were improving the fastest out of any time in the game.
And I will not hear the argument, by the way, that oh yeah, but there are a lot of 350 plus BPM maps that are good or that are rankable. Fucking make them legal. See if the community doesn't make them. See if challenge that is not rankable doesn't exist, or it's sparse, because nobody is gonna fucking try to make something rankable if it's not rankable.
Yeah.
Allow the community to grow with difficulty and see them thrive in that.
Yeah, and like give people incentives to do
we
it.
Gotta stop talking about this because I can go on forever and rant until
I do. If we are wrapping up, I do have like some closing words that I wanted to say, because I didn't get the opportunity to say this during our Clash of the Atlantic segment. I just think it's very impressive, the amount of talent that we have in the community at the moment. Like, it's honestly surprising to me just how many talented people, like the fact that we were able to completely start such a professional, like, final product of a tournament from the ground up, just goes to show like how many great people there are in this community. And honestly, like, it's just very inspiring. And it, like, I've said this before, but it's kind of like what keeps me doing all the stuff that I do in terms of like promoting the tournament, even when it's like really hard for me and I've got like other classes and other stuff I need to focus on. It's just so inspiring seeing people taking time out of their busy lives to like make time for this like passion that they have, and I think that's so fucking cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And yeah, I think that was just a very cool, very special thing that we got here, and I hope that I don't know, I want to have hope for the future, and I want to have hope that like in the future stuff like Scoresaber development can improve, and like Beat Leader progresses as well, and we see like new players coming in, especially with Quest 3. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for what's gonna happen.
This guy's gonna take my job.
Guys, I think we can wrap it.
Okay,
Yeah.
This guy's gonna take my job.
I'll be honest. It took me a while to get comfortable on stream. It took me a bit to get comfortable, like having my input and stuff. That's kind of why I was pretty quiet during Clash of the Atlantic. But I'm feeling good now. I really like this. I really do like this.
Hell yeah.
If you don't mind me, I'm just gonna add a quick point onto Katu's point with like tournament volunteers. Like, the amount of like effort, I think a lot of people fail to realize how much effort goes into these tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane. You know, you're spending like we usually start pre-planning our tournaments like 3 months, the minimum 3 months before. Usually near about 4 or 5. Like original Triple Rumble, we started planning that in like, basically we had our like trial run of it, and then we spent from there just constant hammering down on it. And then Clash of Atlantic was quite similar. And I think the one thing I kind of want to take away from it is that we need more people to get involved with that in some capacity. But I think sometimes, a lot of people feel like they can't join because I think the avenues are quite restrictive at the moment. I don't know like exactly how to kind of like solve that. But I think a lot of people just feel like, I think it's because I think a lot of people kind of look up to World Cup and Cube community kind of tournaments, and they go, oh, I want to do that. But obviously, to get onto that team, you need to have a lot of experience first of all, usually. So I think it's kind of important that we're making sure that we're still giving more people these opportunities to grow their skills through smaller tournaments. I mean, for us, definitely next tournament, we will open up applications to try and get more on the creative side, if anything, because we are going through a major burnout in the team, and we're probably going to have a lot of restructuring possibly next year, depending on how things go. if people want to continue doing their stuff or not. So I would definitely say if you're out there and you're wanting to like help out with tournaments and potentially try and run them, please just try and get out there. And if you're struggling to get out there, I'll just say this right now, I'm open to messages. And if you want to contact me about any of this kind of stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure to mention that you want to do it for, like, just make sure you mention tournaments, because if you don't do that and you just say, send me a hi message, I'm going to block you or ignore you. So just make sure you, like, if you are going to do that, give me a reason to reply back and don't just be like a spammer. But yeah, that's all I want to add.
And just like real quick final words for me. Like that's part of the beauty of the Beat Saber community at large, in my opinion, is just like how accessible it is to like get involved in stuff like this. And like how accessible the people in it as well are. Because I mean, like, man, I remember like looking at Minecraft YouTubers when I was younger and being like, oh man, I'd love to meet them or something. And like when I started joining the Beat Saber community, I kind of like applied that same logic to big figures in the community, even to like you specifically, Magician. I remember watching like your YouTube videos of like your scores and everything. And now I'm just like straight talking to you. Like now I'm just like pretty good buddies with you. Or well, I don't know, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
personally, I always thought he was an asshole, but I mean, it's just me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's incredible how, like, you're not just, like, these, like, big people at the top of the community are not just, like, these random figures, not random, but I mean, like, these figures who are just, like, at the top of their game. You can speak to them. You can interact with them. You can contribute to stuff with them. And, yeah, I think that's the beauty of having such a small, like, tight-knit community. It's really something incredible.
Well,
all right.
Thank you very much. I think
got a lot
that's
that I wanted to say this whole time.
I think that's the perfect point to end it. It's been a little bit of a shorter episode. I think we had a lot of fun.
I want to sit in Gio's red couch.
Thank you very much.
People have.
True. Thank you very much, Connor and Katu, for hopping on and talking to us. It's been a pleasure as always. Hope to have you guys back soon. I'm probably gonna go and cry for a second after that, so quickly go to the outro screen. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, socials are in the description. Join the Discord server if you want to stay informed. Like the video, subscribe to Cube Community. Thank you for letting us host this on here. We're also live every time on Twitch. You can get the notifications of that on the Discord server. We'll see you guys again next time. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next time.